Hello and welcome to the JR's Gaming Podcast, where we talk about the rise of Nintendo and what this great gaming franchise has in store for us in the future of gaming, and of course, the country from which it was born, Japan. I am not joined today by Ryan Fern because today is the first episode where I'm joined by Elijah, the new temporary co-host, because Ryan is going away for a few months actually because of his exams. And so we've got Elijah, a good friend of mine, who's also a Nintendo music YouTuber. Go and check his channel out. It'll be in the description below. He's going to be joining me, if you didn't listen to the last episode, for the next few, every week for the next few months to talk about, to go through the plan and stuff. But basically, yeah, he's the new temporary co-host. But anyway, Elijah, how are you doing this week? What have you been up to?
I've been alright. I think haven't done much this week, to be honest, other than yesterday.
Oh, what
Do
did
you
you do
know what?
yesterday?
Do you know what Ninja Warrior is?
Ninja
The
Warrior.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yes, the TV
Yes.
show. Is it similar to? I may be wrong on this. Is it similar to Takeshi's Castle?
Yeah,
Do you know?
kind of. Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of those Japanese shows that they've shown on British TV a lot. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
UK made its own version, and they've set up a lot of training centres across the UK. So I
Oh.
went to one of those yesterday,
Oh,
and
Ninja
you get
Warrior.
to you get to try all the different climbing on the walls and the monkey bars and all
Oh
sorts of
wow.
really, really difficult things. So my whole body is completely shattered today.
Oh no.
But yeah, it was
It's,
really good fun.
yeah.
Definitely recommend it because it was dirt cheap as well,
Oh
which is
wow.
surprising.
Oh
I
wow.
think it was
Was it a good
14 quid for one
price?
person, which
Oh
I mean, it's
wow.
not cheap, but it's cheaper than you'd expect.
Was that for like an adult? Because like
Yeah,
you'd
for
be
an adult,
classified as
yeah.
an adult. Oh, so the kids like cheaper as well, or was
It's
it?
probably, yeah, I'm assuming it will be cheaper for children as well. So
Oh wow.
if you're in the
Yeah.
UK, definitely I recommend looking online for some of those because that was really, really fun.
Wow. So
Even if you're not very athletic, it's worth it, yeah.
while I've been sitting in my room doing nothing, you've been jumping around, going obstacle courses, practicing to be a ninja.
Pretty much,
that's
yeah.
that's insane. Now you mention it though. I remember my mum took my sister somewhere called Ninja Warrior, so that makes
Mm.
a lot more sense actually. So it's like a parkour type place. Am I correct? So it's like got
That could have
yeah.
been the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, I've been somewhere similar.
Mm.
Not Ninja Warrior, but I've been to this trampoline park. They're really quite big in the UK. We've got quite a few. And in my city, I went to a trampoline park called Boost,
Okay.
and that was pretty fun. I went. I remember I went on a date with a girl to Boost, which was quite funny. About 3 years ago, and it was quite funny to be fair because it's not exactly your ideal date, but I just go jump around on a trampoline park for a bit. But
It sounds fun, to be honest.
it was fun. I can't lie, it was a great time. Not exactly romantic, but why not?
Mm.
It's what I wanted to do. It's just like but yeah, it was a good time. So that's the only sort of experience I've had with that sort of stuff, like jumping around and being a total maniac. But it is really fun. I can't lie. Definitely something I want to try. But yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I've been actually up to a playing Animal Crossing New Leaf. That's what I've been doing. I've been not much this week, just kind of. I mean, I had a terrible time in college wise because has it snowed near you? I wanted to ask,
Yeah,
has
it
it
was
snowed?
snowing. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know why they actually did this, but they decided to shut my college early at 1 o'clock. Because of the snow, and it was
Right.
like I was like, okay, well, okay, but it wasn't that bad though. Like, they didn't need to shut the entire college, but the reason why it caused a problem for me was because when I got on the bus, because I take the bus to go everywhere. When I got on the bus to go to college, I've got to take two. So I've got to take one bus into the city, and then I've got to take one bus from the city station all the way into the college. So it's quite a long, tiring process.
Right. How long does that take?
Oh, roughly about under an hour and a half.
Right.
So
Okay. Mm.
almost 2 hours, but not just
Mm.
20 minutes taken off. But if there's rush hour, there can be 2 hours on the way back.
Mm.
So it's a really tiring journey, right? So I got on this bus, and my bus ticket didn't work. Not when I got on the first bus to get into town. It was like, meh, you can't get on this bus. And I was like, but this ticket, I just activated it to know how I paid for this ticket. So he looked at it and he was like, all right, then, mate, go on then, go on the bus. So I got on the bus, and we drove off into the city. And I was like, oh dear, I hope this doesn't work again. Like, it doesn't happen again. So I quickly
Mm.
restarted the app, and then I got off at the city, and then I got onto the next bus, And I showed him the app, and it did the same thing. It was like, meh, it didn't work. But I was like, sir, I literally just got this ticket. I don't know why it's acting like this. Please let me on the bus. And he let me on anyway, which was kind of him as well.
Yeah.
Second bus driver defeated, got on that bus, free bus ride anyway. And then I was just halfway on the journey there, and I got a message from a friend saying, "Oh, college is closed, so there's no point in you coming in." And I'm like, "What?" I'm wet. I'm wet and I'm cold, and I'm literally
No.
almost going to college. I've got to now go all the way back with no bus ticket and persuade another two bus drivers, one more bus driver to go home. So I was like, oh, great. So that has been my week. Literally just sadness and just disappointment. it was pretty rubbish, to be fair. But I really am angry. I'm probably going to sue Arriva, the bus app, for doing that to me, because I literally paid
2 shots of bad luck at once. So
yeah, exactly. It's just really bad. I mean, I don't understand why the app didn't work. That's what really annoyed me. The app just didn't work. Like the ticket was on the app. Like I bought the ticket on the app, and then when I held the ticket under the scanner from on my phone, it was just like, this is not going to work. Like, sorry. And it was just like, I was like, well, what's going on there? But yeah, so not good on my side. But yeah, and I was gonna say, moving swiftly on from buses breaking down, more of an upper. I think this is more of a good news, more of an upside to the podcast. I've been revisiting an old game that I love so much, Animal Crossing New Leaf. You're a big fan of that as well, I'm guessing.
Of course, yeah, love it.
Yeah, but basically, there's an old house in the island, owned by a friend's user that he doesn't use anymore. So I won't tell him I'm doing this, but he basically he got a house in he came around my house once, played on my game, got a user set up on there, got a house on there, whatnot, and he just left it. Like, he didn't ever come and play it again. So I decided to convert that house into a Japanese Himeji castle. So I've decided to get the design all done, because at the moment all I'm doing right now is I'm expanding it. I'm paying off all the loans, because I've got a lot of bells to do that with, using a hack. So I've got loads and loads and loads of literally infinite bells. So I can literally just quickly pay off all the loans. Don't worry about that. And just make a massive castle, and then I'm going to decorate it with all the Japanese themes and make a nice sort of samurai sort of look. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea?
I think that sounds great, honestly. I've always liked the more kind of Japanese, traditional cultural style towns that I see. And there's a lot of good public works projects that are Japanese styled in that game as well, which are great. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's really fun. That's one thing I really like about Animal Crossing, right? Is that you can actually, it's literally, there is a limit, of course, but there's no limit to what you can do with your imagination. There's a massive scale of items and options you can do to create your own sort of world that you're comfortable with. So if you're going to create a Japan, you can create Japan with bamboo and stuff. I mean, I think New Horizons kind of took the borders off a bit with that and let you put items outside.
Yeah. Which I think was much better, because it means you don't have to wait a whole day for to build something, and then the next day build something else, and it costs so much money. And
yeah, exactly.
And you can only have so many public work projects. You can still have a lot, but there's only so many. So I think that was a big upgrade in New Horizons, but New Leaf is still brilliant.
Yeah, I think they're both, definitely brilliant games, particularly because I've got more experience with New Leaf. I've not really got New Horizons. I've played it, but not own the game to actually. So I don't own the game, So I want to own the game, so I can come up with my own opinion on the game. But from what I know, it does look certainly a bit graphic-wise. Added a few more bugs and fish. But then again, people are like, there's aspects of New Leaf that are better than New Horizons. I'm not really. Okay.
Yeah, I see a lot of people online arguing that New Leaf is better than New Horizons because the villages have more character. But the thing is, for me, I played New Leaf for a whole year normally, and then I actually got kind of bored of it. Then I hacked my 3DS and I basically cheated everything, because it's just more fun. To have more control like that is more fun, and New Horizons kind of gives you the control to do terraforming and you're placing items outside. So although they kind of killed off some features with the villages, they did make make your own town kind of, the whole the whole thing more enjoyable, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree. To be fair, it's funny you said that because I found out, for the first year of playing Animal Crossing New Leaf, I was really enjoying it. It's fun. Then eventually, I did everything there was to do. Right, I paid off all the loans. My house was how I liked it. Literally everything in the island was how I wanted it. I was like, what next?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing else once you're done. Yeah.
What do I do? It's just the same old, seasons roll by. I've collected all the bugs, collected all the fish, everything, is done. I've 100%ed the game in that sense, even though it's not like a game you can 100% completely. It's more of you can in a way if you collect all the items, but it's more of a simulator, so it keeps them going, I guess.
Yeah, but I think that's what New Horizons does better is you can play it for longer. You could, catch all the bug, catch all the fish, but you could still have things to do well after
Exactly.
that for like a whole another year at least. Like, there's so much content to go through. And
Yeah.
because you have more options to be creative, it's just more fun.
Oh, it's so much more to do in New Horizons because I've ordered the catalogue, like the new, the massive thick catalogue you can get. I've got the entire book, like here, sitting on the shelf. I paid £25 for it, and funny enough, I bought it before I got the game. But I've been reading that, and I'm very knowledge wise now on the game, so I know what to do. Hopefully, there's all these designs in there and everything. But the reason I play Animal Crossing New Leaf still, more or less, is to play with friends. I like my friends are on there. I mean, like go around each other's islands and just play and muck about. And some of them are hackers as well, like me. So we can generate new islands and then make them into different like cultures and countries. Cultures doesn't make sense. More countries, right? You can create your own themes. So
Yeah.
I used like kind of the hack, right? The hack stuff on the Animal Crossing New Leaf. I can't speak today. Animal Crossing New Leaf. I kind of used the hacks for that, like you have, and like put trees in the water and stuff to make it look interesting. Which is the bamboo and stuff. I put bamboo in the water. It was really quite nice.
Yeah.
So I kind of more play it with friends because that's the only downside I think to New Horizons, that you can't play online unless you pay for a membership. What do you think
And
of that?
also, the multiplayer is quite limited on New Horizons. It's just visit each other's islands and that's it. But you have Tortimer Island on New Leaf to play games and stuff. So there is more to do on New Leaf, multiplayer wise.
So there's no Tortimer Island in New Horizons.
I don't know I think they added it as DLC, but that was a year after they released the game, so people were upset about it because they I feel like Nintendo have had a recent trend over the years, over the recent years, to release a game unfinished and then give you the rest of it as free DLC later down the line. I think all the fans would rather just get the game in the full package to begin with.
100%. It's like annoying. And do you have to pay for that DLC?
I don't think so. I think for Animal Crossing they've done it free, but there are other games where it's paid for.
Yeah, it's a bit naughty on Nintendo.
All the new Mario Kart expansions and everything. It's nice to remaster old courses, but they could have made a new Mario Kart game by now. I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. To be fair, like to keep on adding DLC is a bit. It's a bit. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's just more the fact that if it was all there in the first place, particularly with Animal Crossing, right? I feel like the whole package should be there already with that sort of game. It's a simulator.
Yeah, they added some, but then took more away.
Exactly.
And then kind of slowly drip fed it to the fans because they hadn't finished it.
Yeah.
It's. I guess it's the thing of Nintendo being such a big corporation and having that rush to, put out games at a certain time space. So you have to do it, but.
I mean, I agree with personally, I think the DLC with Mario Kart was probably all right because you can play the tracks and enjoy it, and then you got the new DLC and like, wow, let's get that new DLC, and you can kind of constantly look forward to the new tracks, but while still playing the old tracks. So, I mean, that's all right because I guess if you're having one massive package on Mario Kart, you could eventually play it all and get bored. But if you're being fed Mario Kart slowly, I feel that's more.
But the thing with that one, that's paid for though.
Oh, is it?
You have to pay for the Mario Kart.
Oh, that makes more. Yeah, 100%.
That's why I'm not happy about it. If it was free as well, that's like brilliant. But I don't think they would. The thing is, they do put a lot of work into it because they remastered the music and all the everything, so they put a lot of effort into it. So of course it's going to be paid DLC, but they could have kind of made a whole big like Smash Ultimate where they kind of brought everything together.
Yes.
They need a Mario Kart that does that. I feel like with everything.
100%. Yeah. Now you told me it's actually paid. That brings a whole new light for me to look onto it because I probably would not pay each month just to play Mario Kart. As much as I like it, it's just it'd be better if it was free. 100%. It'd be way better if it was free.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bit of a shame, to be fair. I mean, the very first Mario Kart 8 that came out before all the DLCs, that did have quite a bit on it. Am I right? I think it had quite a bit of stuff to do, which is good enough. But yeah, it still it'd be nice, I think, if the DLC was free. 100%. It's just a bit annoying to keep paying for new tracks.
Or if they just released a new Mario Kart game, that we'd also be happy
exactly,
with that.
yeah, an entire new Mario Kart game, yeah.
Because they've held on to 8 for quite a while.
Yeah.
They could have had 8 and then 8 Deluxe and then 8 this, and it's like, just make 9 or 10, whatever it's going to be, just make a new one.
Yeah, I agree, to be fair. Making a new one probably be more eye-grabbing as well. People will want to buy it, I think, more.
They could be waiting for a new console, though, which could be in a couple of years. They could be waiting for that.
We've got the somewhere along this podcast, we actually are going to delve into a bit of some of the people in Nintendo have been speaking out on the new Nintendo Switch. We've got an update on that coming up very soon, guys, because it's quite interesting, to be fair. The whole logistics of how games are produced in Nintendo and how they work as a franchise, because it is quite funny because they do never fail to surprise me. Like, as soon as I think they're doing kind of badly, they then really surprised me with the Nintendo Switch, for instance. Remember in the 3DS, when they released the new 3DS, I thought, oh no, they're kind of stuck now. I mean, the new 3DS is no longer new, is it? Like,
I remember seeing so many memes when it first came out of like the new 3DS, this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Like... They're a bit stuck with that name because it's just like the new Super Mario Bros. Actually came out in 2006, a year after I was born, and now I'm 17 years old. That is no longer the case. It's no longer new.
Yeah, I still have it as well. I have a really rundown cartridge for the original DS. Yeah,
same. I remember the joy that I got from playing that, and that was lovely.
I actually found it. My game when I was probably like 7 or 8. I actually just found it. In my block of flats, I just found it on the stairs.
Oh.
And I'd thought, well, I didn't really know anyone at the time.
Yeah.
And I had a DS. I thought, I could. It was really battered. So I was surprised it actually still worked.
Oh wow!
I found the game. I started playing it. Yeah.
You were gifted the game. Yeah. Wow! I just found it. Life just gifted you a Nintendo game, and that was it.
I was lucky. Yeah.
Loved it ever since. That is quite nice, actually. Yeah. I mean. I've never been lucky enough to discover an entire like whole ass Nintendo game. I mean of that in that when you were 7 or 8, that would have been quite a good game to play. Like, it would have been still quite big.
Yeah, because we had then got the Wii version, the new Super Mario Bros. Wii. We had that one as well, so that's how I knew Mario from. But then I think the DS one was my second Mario game. That was good. Yeah.
What was your first ever, like, it's like a question, I think, personally for me. What was your first ever experience with Nintendo? Like, was it a Nintendo DS? Was it a Nintendo Wii? And, like, what was your first ever game? Was it just like...
I think it was the Wii, because my brother had a DS and he gave it to me and I still got that now.
Yeah.
But I hadn't played it. It was his console for a time. So I think my first Nintendo console was a Wii. I can't remember the first game, but I remember we got it with like Mario Kart and the new Super Mario Bros.
Good choice.
I think we had a bunch of like really like knockoff weird. There's so many strange Wii games that exist.
Oh yeah, there are loads.
So many niche, like almost creepy Wii games. But we had a few of those.
Yeah,
kind of came with the Wii. But,
that's funny you say that. Yeah, because the Nintendo 3DS, I think, has that as well. Have you looked in the Eshop and just seen the amount
really obscure games
that are made by some company up in a shady block of flats somewhere in the middle of America?
The amount of games for movies as well. Like, a movie can come out and they'll make a really low quality game out of it. It's just funny to see.
It's funny. It's
funny. It's embarrassing on the developers' part, but it's also just funny.
It's just funny how Nintendo have just let these developers into the eShop and be like, right, take over, just go.
Just go ham. Yeah.
There are new games coming out all the time on the eShop, but sadly you can't get them anymore because it's going to be shut down 27th of March. Oh no, Very
Oh,
sad.
that's so soon. Oh no.
It is, yeah, it's so soon.
I was reading about it in October and everything. And I was like, oh, that's fine. We still got some time. And then now completely forgot it's already.
It's already time. Too late. Time just flies. It's funny because we were actually talking about this when we first had you on. That was like last year, I think.
Yeah.
Last year, that was it. And now it's March. Where's time gone? And the shop's gonna go. It's just
time's flown. Yeah,
it's just flown, and it's just so sad. I'm getting really sad because I can't really buy anything after 27th of March. So everybody, funny enough, now is actually going onto the eShop and buying stuff. But
that's good though, because there are some games that are actually locked to the eShop. They didn't have a physical release.
Oh yeah,
so you have to. So this is basically the last chance to ever get to play the game.
Exactly.
So there's so many games like that people need to. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that have kind of addressed all the hidden gems on the eShop, and they're not that expensive or anything.
I would 100%
so anyone who has
get
some
them
spare
now.
cash, I'd recommend before it's this is your last chance.
This is your final chance.
Yeah.
But then again, you have got a secret gem option as well. If that could be classed as a secret gem option. If you have a modified DS, which you can do on the tutorial, you can get something called the Hshop, and that is literally an eShop. Can be quite dodgy, I could say, because you literally you can get a CIA file. They're basically all the CIA files for 3DS games on the eShop are on the Hshop that you can get for free. So. But I think it gets to the point where it's a bit wrong because you can get things like Pokemon Moon, Mario Kart 7 for free, and that's like, well, you're kind of not paying the creators, are you?
Yeah. There's some for a game that's like, let's say 20 years old, and it's going to disappear. Like, fair enough. Like, you get it for free. It's probably not even worth 10p at this point. But for kind of modern Pokemon games, or even just older Pokemon games, like big games.
Yeah, like Monster Hunter Stories. It's not very fair, no, because I know there's things like Monster Hunter Stories, which is a really fun game. I got that in the card copy, but I found it on the Hshop for free. So I was like, anyone could just download that right now and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
we're talking about how it's unfair, but last week I was saying how I'd really like the CIA file.
For
Pokemon Black.
To be fair, I don't think that's unfair though. I think you can play Pokemon Black for free because it's just ridiculously priced.
Yeah, I think because. Like I remember when I was younger, you could go into a game or a CEX or whatever, and you could find like a pre-owned Pokemon White, Pokemon Black for like 20 quid at most. And now it's upwards of like £160.
It's massive.
So much money, and it's not. No game is worth that much money.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's a simple little game that was released a couple of years ago, about a decade ago actually.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah.
10 years ago. Yes, it is old. But does it mean to like make the price so massive?
It's
literally just a Pokemon story, like any other Pokemon story in a game.
Yeah, it's high demand, and there's not that many of them. So obviously, the people are going to overcharge. But
because there's not many around, it's rare. It's kind of.
Yeah.
I think as things get older, you're always going to have that. Like the Nintendo 3DS is now starting to get rare. Like it is. It's slowly going. I mean, in 10 years' time. How much 3DS is going to go up? The price for a 3DS is going to go up and up and up.
Weirdly enough, a 3DS is worth more than a 2DS.
Is it?
I get because of the 3D feature, but I thought because the 2DS is more modern, it would be worth quite a bit more. Because I bought a 2DS when looking at 3DSs, and it was quite a bit cheaper than the 3DS. And I thought, well, that's strange because the 2DS has updated hardware and everything.
Yeah, that is quite strange actually. It probably is because of the 3D feature. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't
think anyone really used the 3D feature other than for like Mario 3D Land. Like
exactly, it's not.
It's kind of headache inducing after a while, but
yeah, I don't ever play it with the like when I played on a 3DS. I kind of because I have a 2DS. I have my trusty 2DS, which I kind of keep to myself, and I always play that, which I've had since 2016. And that's what I play all my games on. The 3D feature on a 3DS kind of just annoys me. Like it just jumps out at me, and it kind of annoys me, gets in the way. It's just like, turn it off.
Because I remember when it first came out, I could go into like an Argos, and they would have it on display, and you could play it, and you could play from like some
Pokemon or Mario,
like a Mii Resort kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Where you I remember there's like paragliding and something else, but it was to show off the 3D features. I remember all the kids would play it without the 3D because you turn it on, it would just hurt your eyes. Like, it'd be really cool. I thought everyone's like, "Wow, so cool!"
Wow.
And then after like 5 minutes, you'd be like, "Ow!"
The
Yeah,
The kids are all
whilst else.
crying. Yeah. They're all
Yeah,
running to their mum. Mum, I don't want to get that. It's dangerous.
yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, it is. It does give you a headache, I think, personally.
Mm.
But I've got actually. I've just remembered something. You've reminded me. Thank you, Elijah. You've reminded me of something I've got really big to talk about before we move on to the news.
Mm.
Well, kind of big anyway. But as I say, before I go on to that, have you ever thought it's strange how they made a new Nintendo 2DS, but it's completely lost the point of being called a 2DS? Because the reason the 2DS was called a
Oh yeah,
2DS
yeah.
is because it's got no flip screen,
It
right?
was a 2DS XL.
That's it, the 2DS
Yeah,
XL.
and
But
it's
that
just a 3DS XL, but without the 3D.
yeah, exactly.
But it's so much more expensive than all of them combined.
When I
I
saw
don't
this,
understand.
when I saw this, I was like, "You're taking the mick!" Like, what? This is
Yeah,
just
because I wanted to get that one actually, rather
yeah.
than a 2DS. But then I looked at the hinge. The hinge is weaker than all the other hinges I've
What?
seen. I read all the reviews and they're saying my hinge broke within like a month.
Oh God.
And I've still got my DS Lite and it's like as sturdy as ever. And I'm thinking,
Oh
why? What were they
yeah.
thinking?
What were they thinking? No, I'm sorry, but this just makes me laugh every single time. It's like this could be meme topic because it literally is a rip-off 3DS.
Yeah,
It's literally just a 3DS without the 3D feature and a
it's the
weaker
exactly
hinge.
yeah, it's the exact same as the new 3DS, but without 3D. It should not be worth
Yeah.
more for that.
Why is it called the
Uh,
Nintendo 2DS as well? Like
yeah,
I was hoping for a Nintendo 2DS that was larger,
mm.
just like a larger version of the flat,
Yeah. It could
the
have,
flat
I thought
screen.
I thought it'd have like extra buttons and stuff as well. For like,
Yeah, extra buttons and stuff, and that'd be more fun.
hmm.
But instead, they just made literally a piece of trash, and I was like,
they
bloody
took
hell.
they took buttons away. They just made a really wide screen and
Yeah,
yeah, made a really weak model, like physically weak. You might
a
as well just
weird,
play games
yes.
on your phone. Like it's
Yeah,
just a
exactly.
phone that can break easier than your phone.
100%. It's awful. I don't know why. This is always made me laugh. Whenever I think of the Nintendo 2DS XL, I'm like, no, it's not. It's just a trash DS. It's not anything.
Yeah.
It's just funny how they're trying to get money there.
Mm.
But I don't
I
really
will I
know.
will admit I think the one thing I liked about it was that they had so many unique versions of
Mm.
it. Like there's like a Pokeball one and a Pikachu and
Oh,
all
really?
sorts of
Okay.
unique. Yeah, there's some really really good looking ones.
Oh,
And
fair
they actually had
enough.
like details that stuck out from the casing and everything. So that was
Oh,
nice. But then obviously those are like even more expensive, so I was never gonna get
yeah.
it. But it's nice at least. But
It's nice to put on the shelf, I would say, for collectors, but
yeah, for collectors, yeah, but
until
not
it
for
snaps, no,
practical use. Yeah,
not for practical use. And yeah, they just snap in a month, as you said. So,
yeah. So you
yeah,
want to keep it on your shelf and never touch it, really.
yeah, yeah, that's what it's for. Yeah, yeah, really not worth it for the price, I don't think.
Mm.
But this week, Elijah, I hacked my friend's DS for me. My mate, he has and I fixed it as well. He has a Nintendo 3DS XL, not a new one, just a Nintendo 3DS XL, and it's very rare. Yoshi limited edition, so it was like Yoshi eggs on it and stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
But basically, when he was younger, he like battered it to bits. Like when I say that, I mean it was in one piece. It was nice. But when he was younger, of course, when he was like he had it when he was like how about you're talking about 12 years old. He like but damaged the screen. So the screen was normal. It looked fine. It turned on fine. Everything was working fine. But the screen, right, you could not use it at all. And if you look
Right.
online and the screen, if you look online for 3DS troubleshooting issues and the screen doesn't work, it says get a toothbrush and scrub the sides. And I was like, okay,
What?
I did that because there's dust around the sides, right?
Right. Okay.
Apparently, that weighs the screen down in the corners that you don't see. So if you get a
Right.
toothbrush and just brush the sides, apparently it gets it out. Um, but I did that and absolutely nothing. So I was like, right, we're actually gonna have to do the proper way and take the DS apart. So I literally took the entire 3DS apart, unscrewed all the screws. Took me ages. Don't know why Nintendo put so many bloody screws into the thing. But actually, I got to the motherboard, and in the bottom of the motherboard, you've got the screen and the taping that was connected to the screen completely been the taping, which is like connected to a little connector. That makes more sense. Was not connected to its point
Right.
where
Okay.
it's supposed to be connected to. Sounds a bit doesn't make much sense. But basically, yeah, all I did is plug that back in, open it, do it all back up, and it worked. So
Mm.
I was like, fine.
Right. Yeah.
And then he wanted me to hack it. Now the main reason was the same reason that you wanted the CIA file. He wanted all the old Pokemon games on there. So I hacked it for him, and then I got the special. I'll tell you tell you after the podcast how to do it. I got the special ROM hack software then I got all the ROMs that I got for the old games, and the save files to go along with it, so you can save the game. And then I put it into this software, blah blah blah. Done. He's got Pokemon Black on there, Pokemon Soul Silver, and all that lot, and Heart Gold as well. And and you can even change the settings in this software. It's called Twilight something. I forgot what it's called now. Twilight.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can change like the FPS rate. You can change
Yeah.
everything like that. So it's really really good. Yeah, he's enjoying it now. In the past few days, he's been playing Pokemon. He's messaging me, "Hey mate, I love this DS." 3 days I don't hear anything from him because he's just so busy playing.
That's good though. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing my good deed of the month and fixed someone else's DS for them and hacked it for them. I quite like it. I might do that, for a job.
Secret tech whiz, yeah.
Secret tech whiz. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, because people actually get paid to get their 3DSs hacked, but if you can do it yourself.
Yeah, I don't get why people. I think people are just too scared to meddle with their DS. Because I mean, obviously, if you put enough research into it, like I suck at technology, but I managed to watch maybe 3 or 4 YouTube tutorials, and I pretty much figured it out. Like just followed along different tutorials, seeing which was the best one for me, and it wasn't that hard. It was just all I had to do was buy a adapter to plug in my SD card into my laptop, and that was all I really needed.
That's all you need. Or with me, my laptop already has the SD card adapter inside it, which was really handy because I just pop that inside, and you're done. All you need to do is like literally follow the steps. You have to add like someone on the friends list, blah blah blah.
Yeah. If you add a really weird glitchy me looking thing on the
that was horrifying.
Don't let it put you off for anyone thinking of back in the day. Don't let it put you off. Also, don't worry about like back in the day. People will be like, "Oh, Nintendo will blacklist your account. You won't be able to use the DS anymore." They haven't done that for so long. They're not going to suddenly be like, okay, all the hacked DSs, we're going to shut them down.
We're going to blacklist them.
Yeah, like they're closing the eShop. They don't care anymore. They're leaving the console, so they're letting us do whatever we want with it. Really,
they basically left the console to us, and the hackers have
so now
taken over.
Obviously they know we're going to be hacking it more often. Or more people are going to be hacking it. But if anyone wants to hack their DS, don't be scared. Just find a good tutorial, and like you'll find it's not hard. Takes like a couple of hours, but it's worth it.
100%. Very inspirational speech, got to say. Because I think I agree. Because I'd say actually one of our first ever podcast episode we uploaded here, episode 31, I believe. It's called "Why Modifying Your DS / Hacking Your DS in 2023 is the Best Step Forward." It is because honestly, there's not much you can do without a hacked DS. Right, hacked DS is like the new 3DS software, right? Because with the current 3DS, there's no updates, there's no fun. The eShop's shut. It's like
you can get updates with a hacked 3DS, which
you get updates.
You can get obviously they're all fan made updates, but they're from like trusted, actual people who know what they're doing. Like, you're not gonna update your DS and suddenly you can't use it anymore. Exactly. You're gonna update it and you're gonna get new features. It's brilliant.
New features, modded, like there's modded emulated games on there. There's so much you can do with the Universal Updater.
Hundreds of thousands of people who have hacked DSs, and they all trust these people, and they're all it's a community. It's not like
it's a community.
It's not like it's Dodgy Dave on the internet telling you hack your DS and I'm going to steal your information. It's a community all working together. Yeah. So it's nice. It's trusted. More now than it was back then.
100%. It's like a community. 100%. You can literally feel that within the Universal Updater. There's a community of people who love Nintendo and who know how to do modifying and stuff.
They want to keep it alive.
Yeah, they've created things like Theme Plaza, and you can get badges as well. Download badges. You can download themes. Oh, the themes! They're amazing.
I've got I think 12 themes that shuffle, and they're all so good.
They're all so good.
Custom sounds for everything. So you can click on something, click back, and you'll hear like one of the ones I have is from Persona 5, and it's a shop. But I think it's funny because you turn your DS on and he says hello, and you click back on something and he says, "Oh, come again," and stuff like that. It's nice.
Wow,
it's funny. It's engaging, So
it is.
It's worth it. Yeah.
I did when I hacked my mate's DS this week. I put the Pokemon Black and White theme on there. So the top was was it Reshiram, I think? Yeah, Reshiram on the top and Zekrom on the bottom.
Mm.
And then we had the music. There's some really nice music playing from
Yeah.
Pokemon. And then when he opened his DS, when you go to the Pokemon Center in any Nintendo game, it makes that when you put your Pokemon into the woman and she heals them, blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
That
That noise. Yeah.
that little tune that plays.
Oh,
So
that's great.
when you open your DS, it makes that little tune. It's like, oh, I'm
That's really,
loved.
yeah, it's really sweet. Yeah, it adds
Yeah,
more character to your DS that you already love.
exactly.
It's so worth doing. Yeah.
And there's splash screens that have also been
Yeah,
added.
yeah.
So you can, when you power on your DS, if you want to do this, you can have a little like a saver screen that comes on, and
Mm.
then it goes into the actual DS. But anyway, yeah,
Those ones are
100%.
optional, but yeah,
It's optional as
it's
well.
cool. Yeah.
It's all optional and it's all a ton of fun. But anyway, moving on to the news of the week. More of another discussion segment. This one is. We've got final Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer is released. Let's read what it says. A little more than 2 weeks ago, Nintendo confirmed that the last trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie would be releasing via Super Mario Bros. Movie Direct on March 9th. Well, March 9th is today. Well, it's not because we're recording on the 11th, but we've seen it. And as promised, the Direct has aired and the trailer has been officially released. A large portion of the trailer focuses on the previously revealed Mario Kart race that the movie will have. By the way, guys, this will be a spoiler alert. If you've not gone and seen the trailer, go and have a look at it now, or just listen to us if you want to have us spoil it for you. Have you seen First of all, have you seen the trailer?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this first? What's your thoughts on the Mario movie? I don't think I've ever asked you.
Yeah. So at first, I heard a reaction to a lot of like a lot of people, where the movie was announced. I thought, oh, that's really cool. There's never been a Mario movie before.
Yeah.
This will be great, like a properly animated one.
Mm.
Then we saw the cast, and I kind of laughed a lot, but like many people did, because I didn't know where it would go. Other than Jack Black as Bowser, I couldn't see it happening.
Yeah, particularly with the Italian accent gone, I was like, no.
Yeah, it wasn't because Chris Pratt. He's a great actor, but he just sounds the same in everything he does. Like when I hear this, I think of Emmett from the Lego Movie. Like that's all I can hear.
Oh yeah, I can
or
understand.
Like Star-Lord or something like that. I just hear Chris Pratt rather than Mario. But I think over time I've gotten used to it and I've accepted it, and now I think he's passionate about it. There was a couple of interviews where he looked really tired, and people were like, "Oh, he's not caring about it," but he's tired, so you can't blame him.
Yeah,
but he is. He's putting a lot of effort in.
Pretending to Mario is tiring work,
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the movie looks good so far. I think the voice acting is better than we all thought it would be. My only issue is Donkey Kong. It sounds just like a nerdy weirdo. I don't like it.
I do yeah.
Because growing up, I grew up with Smash Bros. Brawl, and I played like Subspace Emissary, which is a story mode of all the Smash Bros. Characters. And Donkey Kong has always been this like kind of big, powerful, intimidating character.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of been turned into Mario's sidekick, who's just like goofy and funny. But it's like, I don't like the voice. I think it kind of, he's no longer intimidating. He's now just some guy who exists with Mario. They kind of took that away from him. But everyone else, Toad, I don't think Michael Keaton would be able to actually do a good Toad voice, but he's brilliant at it.
He's pulled it off, yeah.
Charles is good with Luigi. I'm surprised about that.
Yeah.
And that Taylor something, I forgot her name. But yeah, Pete, that's a good voice as well. But yeah, I think all the voices are good. It's just my problem is Donkey Kong. But the direction of the movie, I think, looks good. It looks like it will be entertaining, interesting, and it's kind of drawing from all aspects of the whole Mario franchise. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I totally agree. To be fair, I thought it was quite funny the scene where Donkey Kong actually beat Mario up, and then I was like, in the last trailer, he is his sidekick, and I was like,
it changed. I don't know. I mean,
it's
it could be two different. Who knows? It could be Donkey Kong and his long lost brother. We don't know. But,
who knows?
But it's a very big change in.
It is.
Yeah.
I've got several opinions on the whole movie since the other trailers have been released. Number one, the movie looks absolutely smashing, really good. I'm really excited personally because it's always hard, I think, to create a movie off a game without making it look too tacky or too,
Yeah.
particularly because Mario is a platform game, right? It's going to be hard to make it into actually a thriller, like a movie, a drama, which is animated. So they have. This has definitely been a lot of pressure on them to create a storyline that works, so it's not going to get too boring. And they've mastered all the voices. I do agree the Donkey Kong voice does sound a bit weird, and the Mario voice does sound a bit weird. Jack Black, 100%, really good. I love that. Bowser's voice is really, really good.
Yeah.
Peach is just, sounds like a girl, normal.
It's
what else
just
did
a
it sound like?
female.
Yeah, it has always dawned on me though. I did talk about this on a solo episode that I did. What my thoughts on the Mario movie were, the trailer. We haven't seen Yoshi.
True.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been quite. It dawned on me. We only see one scene with Yoshi's, and that is in the very first trailer, and it's actually for 1 second, and that is it's like a herd of Yoshis running across a jungle, and they're running across the stream, and there's like this pink one that just kind of looks up and looks at the sky, and then it immediately cuts to the next scene. So I'm like,
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, I don't know if Yoshi's gonna have a voice actor really, because all they ever really say is Yoshi,
yeah,
and then they just lick
yeah.
things, and that's it. So
So
I
I
don't know
don't,
how much
yeah.
there's gonna be. Yeah, it's like the Goombas and the Koopas. It will probably just be miscellaneous voice actors that kind of do the goons and things like that.
Oh yeah, like the things like Goombas and stuff. Yeah, there's going to be those little weird what's it characters that no one really talks about.
Yeah.
Like the beetle things and stuff that are going to have just little sound effect noises, I guess.
Yeah,
and then you've got
there'll be a person voicing them, but they're just going to be making noises like.
They're not going to be
words.
making sense. Yeah, like English. Yeah. I definitely think Yoshi has to be in the movie, though. I'm just saying this now. Like, he has to be. Because he was always, when he was introduced by Nintendo, he was like Mario's sort of pal. And he would ride on him and stuff. And he was really fun to play on the Game Boy and stuff when he came out. So we need Yoshi in the movie. I'm just saying that now. We need him in the movie for me to enjoy it fully. So, so yeah, I'm looking forward to see where Yoshi is. I'm really, really excited also because have you ever thought they've literally packed in every single aspect of Mario, almost, including the. I mean, I mentioned this to Rowan. If you notice in the very first trailer, there's a scene where Bowser, he has this sort of altercation with that King Penguin.
Yeah.
That is a scene taken from the very first ever Mario 3D game, Mario 64. And that's really kind of long forgotten in this movie, right? This is a scene on Mario 64. There's a scene in the game somewhere where Bowser and the penguins are like doing some sort of sort of argument, and then Bowser breathes a fireball onto them, and they fall down the cliff. And that's in the very first ever pretty glitchy Mario 64 game. And they've actually realised that, and they've taken that and they put it in the movie being released this year, and I'm like, wow, that's really, really quite nice. I think they actually.
I think because the creators of Mario are backing it as well, they're gonna remember all of the stuff that they've done over the decades with this character and all the games that they've done. So they want to put in as many references as they can, of course.
Yeah, that's why
really
it's
good
amazing.
that they're paying attention to the detail. Yeah,
that's why it's so amazing, and it's. I'm so excited, and the fact that they've managed to add Mario Kart. This is what was quite amazing. The trailer, the latest trailer actually focuses more on Mario Kart, and the fact they've actually managed to add this in, I'm like, this is going to be pretty hard to pull off. You've got the storyline, the platforms, and then you've got the Mario Kart. Where's that going to go in?
By the looks of it, again, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But by the looks of it, it's Rainbow Road, but it looks like they were just running away from Bowser and his people.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're probably just going to tie it in where they're not actually having a race. They're just kind of probably going from one planet to another or something along Rainbow Road, and they're being chased. I think that's like the most cohesive way of fitting it in.
Definitely like a chase, didn't it? With the cannons and stuff being fired at them.
But it's great, they've got all the Mario Kart power ups and things in a realistic, well, not realistic, but a way that fits in the movie.
I think that's really talented, to be fair, and I'm really looking forward to see this come out. We'll definitely give you our opinion when it actually comes out.
Of course,
hopefully have Rowan on for that episode as well. So it'll be all three of us talking about what we thought of this great release. Because before we move on, I was gonna say, did you ever feel? How did you feel about the first ever? Nintendo didn't even budget this film. There's a film that was released like in 19 something something. I don't know. It was called the Super Mario movie, and it was like really, really, really crap.
No,
It was like so bad that the actors were like drunk while filming, and even the actors said it was rubbish. Did you hear about this film?
I've never heard of it. No.
Oh no, just type in old Mario movie, and you're gonna get the
Okay.
surprises. Nintendo actually, I think, sued them or something. Like it wasn't
Oh, wow.
even.
It's so bad.
it
Oh wow.
was so bad that it's actually funny to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the
Mm,
the old animated Mario and Luigi TV shows that were like they were showing when I was a kid, you'd see them on
mm.
like Sunday morning TV, things like that.
Yeah, they're not that
But
bad.
that's
No,
yeah,
yeah,
those were funny. Those were
they
actually
were
really good.
funny. Yeah, they were good. But
I was
this was
wondering why they
actually
can't bring back those voice actors because like, as much
yeah,
as I love Chris Pratt, like he did sound like kind of New
yeah.
York but also like New York Italian accent
I
in the
always
animated
thought,
thing, and I was like,
yeah. I always thought though, there are within the acting world, a lot of actors actually have the skill to change their accent very well. Like
mm,
I think Peaky Blinders, that TV show, the
yeah,
gangster, that actually they did that really well, right? So you had Sam Neill who portrayed the head officer. He put on an Irish accent, and then Tommy Shelby being played by Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy's actually Irish, and yet he pulled off a really, really good Birmingham accent. So
yeah, yeah.
that's an example of actors actually going outside the box and actually really, really showing that they can put on an entirely different accent to their own.
Yeah, but I feel like then there are
Yeah,
some famous actors like
like Chris Pratt.
no shade to Chris Pratt, but it's just he
Yeah,
does sound the same in a lot of the things he does.
it's just
I know
like
it's
it's
just I get that
yeah,
his voice can fit a lot of characters, but he needs
mm,
to try. I don't know. I don't know if it's him or if it's the movie direction. They probably just told him,
yeah.
just read the lines. They didn't really tell him like you have to do an Italian accent, but
I'd
it
feel
would
it'd
have
be
been good to
better
have
if he
some
did.
accent. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like if I was Chris Pratt and I had the option, he could have at least, as much as I love him as an actor, he could have at least put in the effort to try and adopt that sort of accent.
yeah,
Practice doing the accent and see how it goes from there, because he could have made it way better than it actually is. But we
yeah,
can't complain. It's already been made. It's already being
yeah. Because there's
produced
a
in.
difference.
Yeah.
Because Samuel Jackson.
Mm,
He pretty much plays Samuel Jackson in every movie he's in.
yeah.
He does the same kind of acting, but because he's such a legend and because he's really funny and he's really good at
It
acting,
pulls it off.
he pulls it
Yeah.
off. You're like, oh, that's him. No matter what movie he's in, but you can tell
Mm,
it's just his character, and it
yeah.
works. But with Chris Pratt, although he's been in a variety of different roles, I feel like he can't do the same thing every time and expect it to always work so
Yeah.
well. And I think this is the first time that someone's finally all the
Realised
Mario
it.
fans are finally like, no, like it's too.
It's too
It's
American.
just yeah. It's
Yeah.
not. They think it's not right, and I think. I mean, I'm not one to judge his acting career, of course, but I'm saying like maybe now in the
Mm,
future it'll be more open to
yeah.
different types of acting or voice acting, whatever.
100%. Because sadly, I think he got. I mean, it got to the point where people were getting abusive. Apparently, like people were sending him hate and
Yeah.
saying, "Why did you do this?" I can understand people get emotional about this sort of thing because Mario is such a massive thing
Mm.
to so many people. But Super Mario, I can understand, right? Because I completely agree. Super Mario has been his signature sort of characteristic is that he is Italian.
Mm.
Like he's an Italian plumber. Like everyone likes his little "here we go" sort of voice,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like it's
It's iconic. Yeah.
it's iconic. Exactly. It's like what makes Mario Mario,
Mm.
and you're kind of
Yeah.
taking a large portion of what makes him Mario out, and that's why so many people are upset, and I can understand why. And yeah, sadly,
There's never
yeah,
a need to go as far as like sending so
mm,
much hate to someone. Like really,
yeah,
you can voice your concerns about something. Like
mm,
I don't hate Chris Pratt. I don't dislike him at all. I think he's still a brilliant actor. I
yeah,
just think there are better choices for this movie.
hundred
But
percent,
we
yeah,
could all be proven wrong. The thing is, if we see the movie and by the end of it we go, like we get used to the voice and we think, actually that was pretty good.
mm,
It wasn't like the best it could have been, but it wasn't bad at all. It was really good still. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's no need to be sending him hate. Like directly to
Yeah.
them. Like,
My mum was telling me that. I mean, 100%. I mean, we can disagree. I think most of us do disagree that his voice should have been Italian. That it shouldn't have been American. But yeah, there is no need for people to be sending in hate, and I'm glad that's kind of died down now. I think, but yeah,
yeah. People are getting more
yeah,
tame the more they get used to the voice. Yeah.
yeah, people are getting more tame to it, which is good, and it is a bit of a shame, but I'm just interested to see how it all works out. But yeah, I would have preferred an Italian voice, as would have Rowan, as would have you. So. Yeah, but we're looking forward to it, guys. Do let us know your thoughts by sending in to jailsgaming135@gmail.com. But onto the second to last or to third last segment, we've got a small little update here on the new Nintendo Switch. Let's see what they are saying. So, Jeff Grubb, that's a great name, that is. Jeff Grubb. Jeff Grubb doesn't think Switch Pro or Switch 2 will be the next system, but something in between. Now, this is quite interesting. So it says, Jeff Grubb has. Sorry, I'm just laughing at that. Oh dear. Right, Jeff Grubb has sparked a number of conversations online regarding his latest talk about the successor to the Nintendo Switch family of systems. Speaking on Kinda Funny Games Daily to celebrate the Nintendo Switch's 6th anniversary, he cryptically said that whatever is next for the Nintendo may not be a slightly higher spec between spec Switch, or indeed a Nintendo Switch 2, but something in between that allows them to carry over the users they have gained from the popular Switch platform. This does add up slightly with what Nintendo President Shuntaro Furuwaka, if I pronounced that rightly, previously said when he mentioned the next system needs to offer a new experience from what came before. So basically, it's saying that the new system, they've kind of released something saying it's going to be something, they think it's going to be something in between, but not an entirely brand new system. But the president said he'd rather there be an entirely new experience. So is that a bit conflicting? I don't know.
It's a bit contradictory between, it's these two different people working in Nintendo, have different ideas. It kind of makes us think maybe we won't get this system so soon if they still haven't really decided on what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think what the president was saying makes sense, because they've always strived for a new experience, from the Wii, to all the different DSs and the Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch was very different from all of them. It kind of combined everything really well. They now want to make a new, fresh experience that's better than the Switch.
Yeah.
But they probably don't want to call it, the Switch Pro or the Switch 2, because it's going to be its whole new thing.
Exactly.
I think that's really exciting. I think that sounds promising. That sounds much better than a Switch Pro, which I think a lot of us was just expecting, just like a new Nintendo Switch.
Another one.
A new Nintendo Switch, yeah. But hopefully what they're saying is right, and that we are going to get a new experience.
Yeah, that would be awful though. The new Nintendo Switch, the
newest Nintendo Switch,
the latest Nintendo Switch. Then I'd actually probably decide to complain. I think I would. But yeah, I mean, we've already got 3 Nintendo Switch models. We've got the Switch Lite, the Switch Normal, the neon one, and then the Nintendo Switch OLED, which I think I'm hoping is the last in the series, because I don't want to see another Switch, like a Switch Classic. I'd be like, no, shut up. I don't want any more Switches. I want something that's completely new.
New Switch OLED.
Then the new Switch OLED. That would definitely frustrate me, 100%. But yeah, I think I totally agree. But it is really quite telling that they probably still haven't decided. The fact that one of them saying, I think it's going to be something in between, and the very president himself is saying it's going to be a new experience. From what came before.
They could both be right though, because he did read that he said he cryptically said it, so he could be kind of trying to, one of them's trying to tease it, and the other one's just outright saying it. So it could be.
It could be a new Nintendo Switch. I don't want to say that though.
I think.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't a Switch family, I think if it's offering a new experience, it'll be a new kind of Switch, like how the Wii U was in the Wii family. It was a very different console, and it paired up with the Wii, so I feel like it might be something like that.
That makes a lot more sense actually, because the Wii U is very differently built and in looks and
it still then works with the Wii. But it still works with the Wii. Yeah, that is in between a Switch Pro or a Switch 2. I don't know what they'd call it. I'm not going to call it a Switch U. That's
just Switch U.
Strange, but they'll think of some name for it.
Yeah,
that's interesting, because I don't know what it would look like, what the model would be, what it would change. Because it can't be another. I feel like I want them to bring back a home console. and
Yeah,
not
like a
have everything in handheld.
that is a pretty good point. Like I've always really struggled with this. Like I'm trying to think what this has got to be what they struggle with actually. Trying to think of what the actual design is going to be like. Is it going to
Mm.
be another flat sort of handheld? Is it? It's definitely they can't go backwards on themselves. They can't make another flip screen. It's like
Yeah,
it's going to be hard, and they can't copy the Xbox or the PlayStation and make they've already kind of got that with the Nintendo Switch. They've got those little handhelds, which is
yeah.
similar to the Xbox.
Because you can dock your Switch to have it on your TV, but it's not the same as having it as a home console. And
Exactly.
everyone
Yeah.
wants a more powerful Switch, so wouldn't it make sense for them to make like a kind of like a knockoff, like not knockoff, but like I don't know how to explain it. A side console
Yeah.
that's also a home. It's a home console. It's a proper. It would have more power. It would have more
Yeah,
capabilities.
like a
It could,
box.
yeah,
Yeah.
it could actually then rival,
Yeah.
like the PlayStation, Xbox, and things like that properly.
The Nintendo PC. Who knows? Yeah.
I don't know what
That
they do with it, but yeah, that
yeah.
would work. I feel like.
Yeah, because for instance, if we take the PlayStation 5, which is, if I'm correct, it goes to 4K, I think. I
Mm.
think, yeah, it's like really, really, really good. It can run up to 4K. But it's because it's got, an entire big ass box, and you can like literally it's a massive white thing, with two like flaps on it. And I'm like, okay. That's what it is. It's a home console. It's not supposed to be portable. But then
Yeah, yeah,
again, that would be nice from Nintendo. But then again, if we think about what Nintendo's always been about, it's always been about portability. I
yeah.
suppose.
That's why I'm also conflicted
Mm,
with my own idea because I'd
mm,
want a home console if it means it's more powerful. But
mm,
then the direction that they've been taking it is more and more portability and more flexibility. So if
exactly.
if the new Switch model was a home console, I think everyone would be disappointed in that. Like, although there'd
Mm,
be like a part of us that's like, oh, we're happy. A lot of people would also be like, well, I really enjoy, taking it on the go and playing
mm,
games like, not in front of the TV but outside or in my bedroom or whatever.
mm.
For like that, yeah,
A lot of people will be disappointed, as because it's like people will be like, well, why isn't it going on? And then people will
yeah,
start to think that Nintendo Switch is starting to produce home consoles instead of portable consoles, and they'll be like, well, what about the old portable consoles? We loved it when it was like that. So it's going to be, I
it's
think, a lot.
hard to tell what they're gonna do.
It is pretty hard to
Yeah,
tell.
yeah,
It's going to be. I think it's quite a tough decision for Nintendo, to be fair, to keep thinking. It is a business. You got to keep thinking, haven't you? Particularly, they've
yeah.
got so much weight on their shoulders.
And they've done so much, like they've
Mm,
expanded so much and tried so many different things in the past. There's
yeah,
not that many options available for them in this direction.
exactly.
That's that's why I can't think of what they're gonna do.
It is. I
We
mean, I
just we just
think,
we,
yeah,
we just know that something's coming. That's all we know. It's like
it's really quite interesting. Isn't it? We know something's coming. It's either going to be good or bad. That's all I can think
yeah,
of. That's quite a scary feeling, to be fair. But I think we're in that point of life where technology has almost hit a midlife crisis. If you think about it, like look at the iPhone. Like the iPhone 14, what is it? Got one button and one more pixel in the camera, and it's
yeah.
worth 100 more pounds.
I just got a new phone and I was so frustrated trying to find a phone with a
Mm.
headphone jack
Oh
because
yeah.
all the modern phones don't have one with a headphone jack. And in the
Mm.
end, I ended up going with one that didn't have a headphone jack because they were
Mm.
just so much better than the phones with a headphone jack. Like
Yeah.
it's just, but why remove it? There's no need to. There's still space in the phone to have it, but I don't
Yeah.
understand the direction that everything's being oversimplified.
I know,
And I
right?
think it just
Yeah.
makes. I mean, I get it, it's a money thing. I now have to buy 3 different adapters to do different
Mm.
things from my new phone, which is awful. Like it's a waste of money, really, because
Yeah.
it should already have things built into it.
Mm.
But yeah,
I
it's all a big
completely
money
agree.
making scheme. But yeah, it's
It
I'm
is.
I'm not happy
It.
with it.
I think it's bollocks that they removed the headphone jack. Like, what's the point? That actually frustrated me so much. I can't. If I want to get
Yeah,
an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 11, I can't get the headphone. I can't have earphones with it. I've got to get AirPods. It's
yeah.
like,
I think because every like, mobile company now has their own like
yeah,
Bluetooth headset or Bluetooth earphones, whatever, and they all
exactly.
want you to buy them. So now they remove the headphone jack. They make you pay
Yeah,
for adapters and all this stuff. So to kind of push you towards going to Bluetooth.
exactly.
But obviously, a lot of this Bluetooth stuff is very, very expensive. So
Exactly. Again, I
yeah.
can. It's really frustrating. I mean, the only what did you eventually settle on? Like an iPhone 11, or was it?
No, I've got an Android. I've got a Samsung
Oh, an Android,
Galaxy
yeah.
S20. Yeah.
Oh, nice, good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
quite
an
nice.
iPhone user, and the last iPhone that uses an headphone jack is an iPhone 8. And I'm like,
Mm.
I want to get an iPhone with a good camera. An iPhone 8, as long as it has a good camera, it's like, well, the iPhone 12 looks much more better, but it hasn't got a headphone jack, and it's extremely
Yeah.
expensive. I'm like,
I
oh
think it's
dear.
mad that there's 14 iPhones. The last iPhone I had was an iPhone 5S.
Yeah,
And that was when I was in secondary school. So that
and that
wasn't
did
like
the job, you
forever
know.
ago. Yeah, and that did the job. Obviously, it's like iPhones are made of glass. You drop it once and you shattered the entire thing. So that was a
Yeah.
problem because it is, it's in shambles after I
Mm,
used it in school. But
yeah.
having having the iPhone 5S, and now I have like a friend who tells me, "Oh, I just got an iPhone 14." I'm like,
It's like
there's
what?
14 of them? What? Like, how did that happen? Like,
Mate,
so quick.
since when?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. My first ever iPhone was an iPhone 4, so you've up me there by one. So I got an iPhone 4, and I think I've still got it. I probably could put it in a museum and like get a lot of money for that. But it's literally a small, tiny iPhone. It's about as thick as a brick.
Yeah.
To be sarcastic. But it's literally, and it still runs things like Snapchat on it and stuff. I'm quite amazed. But it's literally the fact that there's 14 iPhones is like kind of like, come on, guys, what are you gonna do next?
Like, do you need to introduce a new phone every year or 2 new phones every year? You don't
Exactly.
really. It's like,
You don't.
imagine if Xbox and PlayStation made a new console every year.
Yeah,
The
there's no
changes
need.
would be minimal, and that's what's happening with phones as well. The changes are barely there.
Exactly. So
Like
it's
every
like,
year, it's slightly upgraded, but is it really worth a
yeah,
grand for a new phone? That's so expensive
that is so
for a
expensive.
few
Yeah.
changes. It's
When you could just
mm,
get an iPhone 10 that does the job, does everything normally. Like, it's just got
yeah.
a good nice camera. It's like, why would you? This is the whole paradox. If that's the right word to use. That they've got the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14. Everyone's like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Right. So, because the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14 are literally the same.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing. There's literally like one little button called a night mode button, but you can literally. It just makes no sense. It's just.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
the phone that I got is a few years old.
yeah.
But there are 4 different versions of the phone, and I had to
Oh.
spend hours researching every single different version of it because they all
Yeah.
have differences, but they're so minimal. It's hard to actually tell which is the best,
Mm,
and their prices all range, and it feels a bit random. So I had to look at so
mm,
many different YouTube like tech reviews, saying like, should you
mm.
get this one or this one? This one. It's like, I just want a phone, man.
I just want a
I don't
phone,
care.
mate.
I just want a decent phone. I don't really care about
Yeah,
like a specific feature that this one has.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
don't need it.
It's ridiculous to be fair, and I think it's quite. As just someone who's going to sit back and watch. It's just funny to see how everybody has come to a point where it's like there's got to be a change in the tide, but what's it going to be? Because I can't see anything else. Like,
Yeah.
we're the best possible thing we're at now. But then again, I'm like, maybe 20 years ago, that's what we thought with technology back then. We can probably not get any better than this. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
Will it
I feel
get
like I've
better?
been a bit too cynical this podcast. um, but yeah,
No.
it's a
Yeah.
shame. But
Yeah.
back to the Nintendo Switch.
Back to the Nintendo
Things will
Switch.
be
Yeah.
yeah. I think the future will be exciting. We don't know what's going to happen, but with them
Mm.
saying that they want a new experience, that sounds good to me.
It does sound good, and from Nintendo, really are pulling off a lot of stuff. From making their own movie studio now, but having to see a lot more Nintendo movies, like Nintendo Pictures now it's called. They're now going to pull off the Mario movie. I think it was one of their first. I think it's Detective Pikachu as well.
Oh
They own
yeah.
that. Nintendo Pictures. They're also producing Detective Pikachu 2. So
Mm.
not only have they now they're not only a console owning company, they're now a movie owning company. They've got their own picture studios. They've got their own
Yeah, they've
movie studio.
expanded greatly. Yeah.
Yeah, they've expanded even more. So there's a lot of. I'm really excited, and I guess we're all going to find out in the next year or so when the new Nintendo Switch, hopefully it's not called that, comes out. But anyway, for our new segment of the podcast, quite interestedly, I've given this to you, Elijah, to take care of because you are a Nintendo music YouTuber. For those of you who probably don't know exactly what that is, explain briefly again. What do you do again on your YouTube?
Yeah, so I take old video game music and I will remake it, remaster it with more modern sounds, sometimes in different genres, different styles, or different styles of another composer. But it's mainly in my own style. But people seem to enjoy it, so I keep doing it. So
Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah.
particular, was it your Ace Attorney album did really well?
Yeah, I think most of my subscribers are here for Ace Attorney, and I
Yeah.
only release one of those albums a year because that's like
Mm.
my big thing that always gets the views. So I'm saving that for later this year. But
Yeah.
I get a lot of requests, be like, oh, can you do this Ace Attorney thing? And I have to be like,
Yeah.
sorry, just wait for the album.
Wait for the album, guys. Yeah, but I guess it was. I listened to those music tracks that you remastered from the game, and it was really good. I've got to say, from me, well done, well done.
Thank you.
It's really good. I enjoyed the music, and the music, game music as a whole, entire almost genre. I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's amazing in its own wonderful way. It can be emotional, particularly the game we're about to talk about now. Yeah, definitely go check out Elijah's YouTube channel, which will be in the description below. A program now going on called Buy Me a Coffee, I can see. So
I do, yes. So that's for any of my supporters who want to, give a couple quid to help the channel keep going. And if you do, you get, I think, there's 12 posts. So there's 12 original songs and remasters that are private, that are only for those people who have paid.
Oh wow!
So it's yeah. So
that's really
it's a couple quid. If you have a spare couple of quid and you like my content, it'll be very much appreciated. But obviously, no pressure to anyone who, it's an option. Yeah,
it's an option. That's really good. Yeah, I might put a few quid in, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, you could probably move as you get more time. I guess you could probably. You ever thought about doing like requests, like taking requests, like get paid to make music for people?
Yeah. At the moment, I do requests for free because I feel like I'm not at the standard that I want to be, where I charge people for requests. I'd rather do. I'd rather have open requests on the channel for I think another half year at least.
Good idea to work you up to that point. I think
once the channel's hit 2 years old, I think then I'll be happy with the level I'm at, and then I can be like, okay, I may start charging for requests because I do get quite a few.
Yeah,
I'm kind of missing out on money.
Of course, but the more free stuff you do it, the more I think attention you'll get. Well, this guy does requests, and more people get involved, right? So you can make more and more music. Audience gradually gets bigger to the point where you're like, right, I'm going to charge a couple of quid. People still do it, and they because you've got that audience that have been backed up who've liked your music from before. So that's really good. So yeah, 100% go and check you out. For those of you who don't know. But talking of requests, we did have a viewer who wrote in when I asked about people sending questions for you as you're a Nintendo music producer guest. We had someone actually write in saying they wanted a Mario Kart album, and you actually done a Mario Kart album.
Yeah, now. I did it. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that listener, maybe they've already heard it, but go and check it out. I think he definitely deserves more views and subscribers because the music you do is really, really, really good, and it's definitely needs to be checked out. So, for all of the think about it, guys, we've got 8.7 thousand listeners from all over the world on all our platforms. Why don't you all go and subscribe?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Get 8.1 thousand subscribers, but I also wish they did that with our podcast YouTube channel as well because, but they've not done that. We've only got 15 subscribers.
You've got a lot of views though. Your videos, I think you're really good with titles and thumbnails.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
because I've seen a lot of your. I've been trying to take notes as well because a lot of I change my thumbnails a lot. To kind of match with the tide of how YouTube is flowing.
It's all like algorithm, isn't it?
Yeah, to work with the algorithm. It's never clickbaity, and I'm never going to expect to get mad views because it's music. You can't really.
Yeah.
Video game music is not a big part of YouTube, so there's always going to be a small corner of the internet. But there's that tight community there, so I'm happy there. But yeah, I've changed my thumbnails quite a few times to kind of fit with other music YouTubers and their thumbnails, and that has worked for me. But you've got really like catchy, the kind of thing that someone who's never heard your channel before, they'll click on your video.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I've seen this. You got some videos of like almost 500 views or something like that.
Yeah,
it's on your podcast channel. It's good.
Thank you. It's just how I guess of like people's attention, haven't I? So I'm like, well, the podcast, we're just sitting, me and Rowan, me and you, anyone, we're just sitting down talking about Nintendo. But in order to get people's attention, I need to make the episode eye-grabbing, and people are going to start to click on it, and then they're like, they may not listen to it all at that point because the thumbnail is what they came there for. But then they're like, maybe I'll listen to that later on. And there's now I've added chapters now, guys. So definitely go and check that out. It's more easier now for you to find out what you want to listen to in the episode. I've now added chapters, which I should have done much sooner. But I think it's a
good addition. Good addition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. But But yeah, before we quickly I've gone on another tangent here, I'll say, but I think it's quite interesting. There's two worlds to podcasting and YouTubing. There's a whole audience of people that rather listen, and they're on the podcast, and they don't really subscribe. They like to listen from the podcast, and that's where most of all our audience comes from. To the point where we can now get monetized, which I'll need to sort out very soon. And then on YouTube, it's like a different audience, but they're still out there. So that's why we've now only just started uploading to YouTube, and it's doing pretty good. So yeah, thanks for the support, and I'll keep on doing that. Keep on getting those thumbnails out.
Good, yeah.
I do like making thumbnails. They're just really fun, and I still need to make the thumbnail for this episode, and I've got to think about what's going to be like. But yeah, looking forward to it.
We've had so many tangents. There's plenty to talk about.
Let's just call it a million talent. We could think about like a massive eye-grabbing thumbnail. We talked about 5 million tangents. Click on this now, or you'll get a spider in your bed tonight. I don't know.
If we now just say a bunch of words, then you can put them in the thumbnail and the title. Mr. Beast. What else is popular?
Mr. Beast, Xenoblade,
random stuff. Yeah.
Anything, yes, fun. Click on it. It's fun. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I think the Mr. Beast video. The Mr. Beast video got quite a lot of views because I've got Mr. Beast.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. But yeah,
it's catchy for a wider audience. I think that's why.
Yeah,
those kind of things are good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think you get better at it the more you do it. That's what I would say. But anyway, we've got a new segment for a larger to take care of, because he is really an expert on all the Nintendo music in games and stuff from old to new. And basically, what we're going to do each week is he's going to choose a track or 2 tracks or something from a game that he likes, and he's going to talk about it. I'm going to listen to it as well, why he likes it, and basically why it's a good track. I don't know. It's your segment. Take it away. What's going on this week?
This week I've chosen a track called Satorl Marsh. It's from a game called Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, I love that game.
The definitive edition of the game, because that's the remastered. Just sounds better, looks better. So, I want to talk about how it's quite unique, and how Xenoblade has a lot of dynamic music, which means while you're like exploring an overworld, it changes from day to night, and the music will change with it.
Yeah.
So right. Music adding like so much to video games. Without it, there wouldn't be any immersion. Like, the game would be much worse.
100%.
So whether you're exploring a dungeon, examining a crime scene, or driving a car, music is necessary for building atmosphere.
100%. Yeah.
So in Xenoblade, there's always music playing when you're out in the overworld or in a battle, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's really I think the series is well known for its stunning visuals and really creative world design. So it plays a big part in bringing these locations to life and giving an extra layer of depth to the game.
I 100% absolutely agree with you, because without music, the world wouldn't go around either. I think the music is music. I love music so much, and
it brings a lot to the environment.
It brings
the visual media it pairs well. Yeah,
exactly.
So
yeah.
So one popular area in Xenoblade Chronicles is Satorl Marsh, spelled Satorl for anyone interested. So during the day it's quite foggy and dull, and it's generally just an ugly area. But during nighttime it's completely different. Trees light up, some sort of mystical gas is released into the air, and the clouds clear to reveal like a starry night sky. It's a sight to behold, even for a video game.
Is it like fireflies as well flying around?
Yeah, like kind of like the tree leaves are almost like their own unique kind of firefly thing. And it's great because during the day you'll see the trees are dead. It's a swampy, ugly marshland, and it looks miserable. The music is quite relaxed, chilled out, a bit mysterious.
Yeah.
It starts with the daytime theme just starts with bass, and then something like twinkling piano comes in, and you'll hear a bunch of synthesizers play a melody. It does pick up, and it gets energetic and vibrant. But for the most part, it is a very kind of quiet theme in a way.
Quite mysterious landscape as well.
Yeah. But with Satorl Marsh, the visuals alone are enough to engage the player, but the music is what really ties it all together. It's like the nighttime theme. It's gentle and relaxing, but it's really moving. So initially, it's soothing, it's gentle, it's quiet. There's a choir, there's an oboe playing the melody. It's like gentle strings, and it matches the visual cues. If you see it going from day to night, the music like perfectly blends as the trees light up. So it's I recommend everyone just go on Google Images, find Satorl Marsh, and like, look at it, and then you can look at the music for it as well, and you'll see how well it pairs. But it builds up, becomes really emotional, and all of this together, you know, the music moving from gentle to powerful, the prepossessing visuals, and the mood of the area is what makes it so incredibly popular, in my opinion. It's one of my and many other fans' favorite places in Xenoblade.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, where to start? Like, I'll link these two song tracks, Satorl Marsh, Day and Night, in the description of this episode. If you're on YouTube or podcast, go to the description and check it out. But yeah, when you sent these to me this morning, I listened to the Day song, and I was like, I loved how it did not get boring. It was moving. It was emotional. It was energetic, and it kept on building up. Like it didn't stop. It was like a general music track. That's the thing I liked about it. You know how it didn't ever get boring, because I do feel in some video games you've got that generic sound playing in the back.
Yeah, and it can loop a lot in some games as well, where it's the it's the same thing over and over. But yeah, it's yeah, because I talked a lot about the visuals, because I think that's what makes these tracks unique, is because they match the visuals so perfectly.
100%.
Because there's such a big contrast in the day and night, whereas like the other day and night areas of Xenoblade are pretty much the same. It's just darker at night, and it's a very calm, kind of gentle version of the day theme. But these two have their own unique themes. And although they have similarities with like the, you know, kind of like twinkling piano and the general strings choir thing that kind of comes in. Yeah, there are similarities in the melody as well, but they're still both very different and very unique.
Exactly.
And that's what I think it makes it great. It's definitely worth listening to, because the tracks themselves, they're very popular. They're not the most popular out of them. I don't think I've actually seen either of them in anyone's like top 10 favorite Xenoblade.
Oh, really?
Track list.
Wow.
Yeah, which is surprising, because
that's surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a decent amount of views on YouTube, and I thought, oh, these are quite, it's a very popular area. But I feel like people more talk about the visuals than the music.
Yeah,
and they don't realize that the music actually brings the visuals to life.
It does.
Without the music, you're just looking at a pretty screensaver, but with the music, you're immersed in the world.
Yeah,
and it makes you feel like you've been like whisked away into this alternate reality. It's brilliant.
Yeah, because music, if you think about it, music, whatever genre it is always emotion provoking. You're always going to get emotions that you never felt before, just being brought to the surface when you listen to when that note hits in a music track. And that's why in films particularly, the music is talked about a lot, it's used a lot, and music kind of enhances the film so much more. Think of your favorite movie, right? Think of it now. Then think of it without music. It'd be so different, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it'd be so much more different. And that's the exact same in games. And I think different games do it differently. Like if you play a Mario, then the music is just fun, happy, clappy. It's like not anything to get emotional about. If you're playing a big game like, I don't know, Xenoblade, Persona 5, Final Fantasy, these big RPG emotional storyline games with stunning graphics, you're gonna want the music to be as stunning as the graphics are, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you want the music to stun you.
Yeah, the music can do so much, where like you can foreshadow things as well.
Exactly.
Like with the day theme, it sounds really mysterious and a bit ominous, and it's fun for a section of it, but then it goes right back to being ominous.
Yeah.
And that's because you might not know. You might go in daytime and never find at nighttime that it's a completely different, beautiful place. But that's why there's that mysterious element to it. It's like, this is really ugly and really dull. But if you actually stay a while, then you learn, oh, this area is actually wonderful, and the music's now very peaceful and very, lighthearted. And yeah, it's really sweet. Yeah.
That's what's really nice, how it's like a completely different environment at night. And I've only played Xenoblade once on my friend's 3DS XL, but I want to get the Switch version as soon as possible and check this out, because this is definitely the music. Even if you've never played Xenoblade and you're not into it, go and check this out, because the music is just so nice.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3's soundtrack got nominated for what was it? It got nominated at the Game Awards for one of the best soundtracks, which is really obviously definitely earned, because these soundtracks are incredible.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that
check them out, everyone.
Check them out. Yeah, the thing I like about it again is there's no loop, because I think in most games there's a loop, aren't there? Even in Animal Crossing, there's like a bit of a loop. It keeps them going, and it's just like, isn't
they're all? Yeah, they all even in Xenoblade there are they do loop, but they loop after a few minutes,
That's
which is
it.
very
Yeah.
different than most other games, especially from this era, because this came out on the Wii originally, and then it was moved to the 3DS, and now it's on the Nintendo Switch. So
Yeah.
for a game on the Wii where most loops will be like 40 seconds long, having a
Mm.
3-minute full song and then it loops, it's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of effort went into the soundtrack of this game.
That's what I like about it. And for the time you're in that area, in like Satorl Marsh something.
Satorl, yeah.
Satorl, that's it, Satorl Marsh. While you're in that area, you're not going to be in there for you're going to be in there, but you're not going to really notice the loop because the song is a few minutes and there's so much detail put into the song. You're going to kind of just be immersed. And that's the thing. If you've got stunning music and stunning visuals, you're going to be immersed. And then the nighttime track, I'd just like to say, it's just so emotionally beautiful, almost in a way. It's very, very, very specific as well, and that's what I like about it. It's definitely go check it out, and yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I feel like
it
sounds quite obvious that music is key to immersion and atmosphere, but a lot of the time people will pawn off video game music as like, oh, it's not proper music, it's just video game music. But they don't actually take a second to just stop and listen and realize this wouldn't be the same without this, and this is like really these are professional composers. These are proper people who have music degrees and all sorts. They know what they're doing. They're not just they're not like a half-assed musician who just makes video game music. They put all their effort into it, and they deserve that same respect.
They should. They should understand that these are exclusive tracks made specifically for the Nintendo game, whether it is, and that's why they should definitely. That's why I think people like you are important. They're bringing attention to the Nintendo music. The video game producers, you're remastering the old music to say, look, this was great stuff.
And I'm glad I can do that because I do get quite a few comments on my channel where I say, "Oh, I haven't heard this before. This is really good." Like, oh, wow, well done. I haven't heard this in years. I completely forgot about this game.
That's
wherever
exactly.
It is. I think that's good. I want to bring back people's understanding of how video game music affects the actual game itself and how just good it is.
100%.
And how worth your time it is to listen to this stuff.
Yeah, it is definitely worth the time. That's why I think that's so important to have these people out there because each music track in games these were tracks that were worked hard on. People like professional musicians worked hard on these tracks and they've got lost over time. So the fact that we're reproducing them, it's just like, wow, this is so good to the modern society who are into the modern games can look back and be like, wow, and that then introduces them to the older games, and then that's where a bit of a joke, hacking your 3DS comes in. You can enjoy those old games without having to pay £100. But anyway, thanks for that. This was a really, really good segment, I think.
Yeah. I talked more about the visuals, but you get the idea of how the music. That's why this music is unique, and that's why I like it because it's made for the visuals, but it stands on its own as well. But then when paired together, it brings it all to life so perfectly.
That's what's really amazing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what other tracks you have in store for us over the next few weeks and months to come. But anyway, on to our last segment. It's been a really long episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been great to speak with you. Just hear me and Elijah just ramble, I guess. But we can't miss out our precious viewers and listeners. We've got a question sent in today from Quinton. I like that name, Quinton. Hey there, Jude and Elijah. I've been listening to this podcast for a while now, and it keeps me busy on my Saturday evenings when I'm gaming. My current gaming list includes Final Fantasy, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Splatoon 3, and Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh,
good choices.
Interesting mix. Good choices. My question is for you both. If you could rank all your games in your collection from your most favourite to least favourite, what would your ranking list be? Keep up the great work and all the best, Quinton, New Jersey. Wow, that's a massive ask. That is.
I have too many games to obviously rank that. But should we do a top 3 or top 5 or something like that?
Yeah, let's go for top 5 because he obviously wants all of them. But unfortunately, it's going to take us about another hour to go and rank up all of our old games. So let's do top 5. Let's do top 5.
All right. Do you want to start?
Okay, so roughly, let me think. Okay, so first of all, for those of you guys who know me, I'm more of a Nintendo 3DS player at the moment. I've not got my own Nintendo Switch, which I'm hoping to get very soon. But while I do play my Nintendo Switch, I play my friend's Nintendo Switch and I borrow his. But this is about me. This is about the games that I play. It's going to be all 3DS related. So let's start. I'm opening up my drawer. What have we got first? I'm going to say my first favourite ever game for the Nintendo 3DS. Number one is going to be Animal Crossing: New Horizons. That's my first. That's my first game in the list. Just because it's just an amazing game. That's my favourite. That's number one, I would say, because it's just an amazing game. Again, we talked about this at the beginning. You can create your own island. Play with friends with free of charge. There's no membership. And yeah, it's a lot of creativity options. Yes, it's very different to New Horizons, but 100% recommend it. Let's see. Second in my list, I've got to say, this is not talked about that much, but I've got to say this is my second most favourite. Yokai Watch.
Ah, yes.
Yes, I love this game. The version I've got, Fleshy Souls. That's my one. And the main, basically, to break it down, Yokai Watch is one of those monster catching games, just like Pokemon, but it's very different style. Very, very well put together. I think a lot of people don't appreciate how much this series means, memories it brings back to me as well. And I don't think people really appreciate how much effort was put into this game. That the attention to detail is really good in this game. So the map, the scenery, the size of the map is really well put together. Like it's based upon Japan, and you collect like yokai, which are like monsters and demons and things in the Japanese world of myth, and you can collect them by using this little watch. So you fight them and stuff, and train them to fight each other and collect rare ones. It's all about strategy. But yeah, Yokai Watch, Fleshy Souls or Bony Spirits. That's got to be it. That's got to be number two. Swiftly moving on, number three, I've got to say Tomodachi Life.
Okay.
It's like the me version of The Sims. With instead of like Sims, it's me's. And yeah, you kind of create your family and friends and just see what happens. They fight each other, they marry each other, they break up with each other, they do all sorts of stuff, all on a massive island with lots of things to do. But yeah, that's my it has a lot of memories attached. So that's got to be my third favourite. Fourth favourite, let's see. I'm trying to see if I can look at all my games. It's probably going to be Mario Kart 7.
Okay.
This is a really fun game. I would say it's got a lot of memories attached to it. I love Mario Kart in general, so definitely give it a try. Number 5 on my list, my last and final, has got to be Fantasy Life, which is a hidden gem. I would say.
You told me about that before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's really good. Basically, it's got day and night, and it's an open world map, and there's so much to do, so much to explore, so much to unlock as well. And you can literally be anything. You can be a fisherman. You can be and it's really well. It's got its own style to it as well. But yeah, 100% go and check that out. But yeah, briefly, I managed to cram that in. I think did I do all right? Five top games.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. What do you think of my ranking? Is it all right?
I think that's an interesting choice. That's quite nice, actually. Yeah,
yeah.
It's good that you have a hidden gem in your top 5 because that will bring more light to the game. Always.
Exactly. I've heard you
praise that game a lot in the past as well. So
yeah, hopefully people enjoy it. Yeah, that's my top 5. So what about you? What's your top 5?
Well, my top 5. 2 of my top 5 aren't Nintendo games.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so my favorite game of all time is Skyrim.
Oh,
which
Skyrim.
Is the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. It's over a decade old adventure RPG kind of game. I have, I think, over 800 hours in the game, so I've got quite a lot of time. Yeah, because you can play the game in so many different ways, and that's what I like about it. There's so many different ways to go through, like different kinds of character builds. That's the word. Yeah.
It's like almost like a Viking-esque sort of feel to it. That's what I got when I played the game. You've got little towns, harsh weather, sort of. Yeah, I love Skyrim. Anyway, what else you got on the list?
Number Skyrim. 2 is a hidden gem. It's
nice.
a game for the Xbox 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
It's called Skate 2.
Skate 2.
It's a game that I grew up with. I think it came out in 2009. I got it soon after it came out.
Yeah, skateboarder.
Yeah, so it's just a skateboarding game, and I have so many fond memories of that game. and it's got a lovable set of characters, and it's good controls, fun game, good vibes all around. Yeah, great soundtrack as well.
Oh, nice. Great.
My number 3, I would say, is Ace Attorney: Trials and Tribulations.
Yep, no, he's got to be in there. I was about to say.
Yeah, of course.
Where's Ace Attorney gone? Yep.
Yeah, my third favorite game of all time is definitely that. Yeah, that's the third game in the series. It's got I picked that one out of the rest of them because it's got my favorite characters in it. It's got the most, I think, mature themes out of a lot of them. They're all like funny, silly, goofy, but that one has some dark undertones, which is a bit nicer to kind of.
Which is nicer to deal with. That's the Nintendo DS.
You can get more attached to it that way, I feel like. But that's my third favorite game.
Yeah.
Fourth would probably be Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, because I played it on the Wii. I haven't played it on the Switch because I don't have a Switch, unfortunately. But on the Wii, I remember playing it, and the story is still, I think, one of my favorite stories. Just full stop. Like even beating movies and books and all sorts for me. Because it's really, really enticing. The characters and the voice acting is so. It's so good. It's so emotional. Like it pulls at your heart in all the right ways. Like it's brilliant.
I saw quite a funny video I might send to you just before we recorded. Called the storyline of Xenoblade in 50 seconds.
Is it by someone called Flyan?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I've been watching it for a few years. Yeah,
it's really funny, really animated. It's just like, oh, you're the enemy. No, he's the enemy. No, he's the enemy. No, I'm the enemy.
To sum it up, there's a lot of plot twists, but it is worth your time for anyone who has either a Wii, a 3DS, or a Nintendo Switch. I would say is one of the best JRPGs out there. Like full stop.
Wow. Yeah,
it's so worth your time. It's a long game, but it's
really
worth
good
it in the end. Yeah,
worth it in the end. But what's the next one?
I think my fifth and final one would be Pokemon Black 2.
Oh yes,
again another nostalgia trip. I have, I think, 500 hours in that game from my childhood. So yeah, it's just a good Pokemon game. I think it's one of the best Pokemon games.
Yeah, Pokemon
especially
Black,
from the DS era.
It's really nice. I love playing them sometimes on my DS. I've managed to get it on my DS now with the CIA files, and it's just so amazing. It's the first time they got rid of the pixels, and you got a little character running around on there. It's just really nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good story. I think it's got the most. Again, the Gen 5 of Pokemon has the most mature story. I think that's why I like it as well.
More mature.
It's got some. It's like they talk about Pokemon slavery and things like that, saying like,
are
you right to keep your Pokemon in the Pokeball? And I think that's a good question to ask. Like, especially for children, they need to learn that. They need to learn they can't just capture anything and force it to fight for them. There needs to be some sort of repercussion to that. But I think it's good.
I think we could talk on another whole episode about Pokemon lore. Like it's just amazing. I love Pokemon lore. It's just so profound and so interesting. But I love a bit of old Pokemon games, and I really think that's an interesting choice. But there you go, Quinton.
Those are our top 5. Yeah.
Those are our top 5. You put our minds to the test, and I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. And that's from Quinton from New Jersey. Nice place. I've never been there. I don't know why I said it's a nice place. Is it a nice place? I don't know. But
it must be if Quinton's from there.
Exactly. If Quinton's from there, it's got to be a good place. Makes us frank all our games. Great. Anyway, before we close up the podcast, a little quick update for all of our listeners out there. I think a lot of people were a bit confused. We release episodes so that the audio version gets released on all the platforms on Saturday. So that's today. So the day you're hearing this now, if you're listening the day we release this, is Saturday. Then on Sunday we release the YouTube video. The reason of that is because it takes about 2 to 3 hours to render the video and the thumbnail. So the video version will come out on Sunday, and the audio version comes out on Saturday. So that's why people get a bit confused. They're like, it's not come out on Saturday. No, it's on Sunday. So if you're listening on YouTube, look out for us on Sunday. And if you're listening on the podcast as normal, we come out on Saturdays. We always have done. And so if you're on YouTube and you're like, we want to listen to you before, there's no much difference apart from the thumbnail. So go check us out on Spotify or wherever else. But that's a quick update. But it's been a good episode, hasn't it, Elijah?
Yeah, we've had a lot to talk about. Yeah,
a lot to talk about, indeed.
A bit too much to talk about, but
a bit too much. But we all like a bit of talking, and I'm gonna definitely enjoy adding in those chapters so you can all find your way around our tangents and talking. But anyway, That's all for us. That's all for us from now. But yeah, please send in your questions and comments to jrsgaming135@gmail.com. Please subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're listening from, and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. This will help us out greatly and get the podcast around. Our socials will be in the description below: our Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, website, and Discord, including Elijah's YouTube channel. And I'll also link the music that we talked about in the description below. But until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.